What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about LQR House. I want to go over some of the data points, what's been really moving it, and what just came out after hours on Wednesday. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So over the last 5 days, the stock has done fairly well, up 278%. Just on Wednesday alone, it went up 171%. No news. So the last official news that did come out was on July the 8th. Of course, this stock has been hit quite significantly because of the tariffs. So it, again, for face value, could be interpreted as a value play, but it definitely has started some momentum. And a lot of people on social media are calling for this stock to be a squeeze play. And in some cases, some people are calling it a pure squeeze play. And the reason why people are calling it a pure squeeze play is because there is no options. So technically, whenever someone is shorting, they can't hedge with call options. So they are essentially naked. So that's why it is a pure squeeze play. But at the time of doing this video, 22.17% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 232.69 thousand shares overall being shorted. So this is why people are talking about it, because this is exactly what the market does like to squeeze. Heavily shorted, low float. But even on technically Wednesday, when the stock ran up quite significantly, shorts increased their position by 33%, increasing about 58,000 shares. So yeah, in reality, if you believe that this is a squeeze play, then have at it and whatever else. But there was one thing that did come out after hours on Wednesday that's really going to shake this stock to the core. That's going to have a lot of people taking some profits, and that was this. So there was a 8K that did come out, and it did state right here on July the 15th, 2025, a Nevada corporation became aware that the company and its entire board of directors has been named as defendants, along with over 12 other defendants, which alleges, among other things, breach of fiduciary duties, violations of Nevada revised statutes, and blah, blah, blah. So ultimately, the individuals are seeking, among other things, a declaratory judgment, a temporary restraining order, and preliminary injunction freezing the company's assets. So even though technically nothing has been done yet, this is going to freak the hell out. People are going to be focusing so much on this freezing of the company's assets that they are going to sell. Shorts are going to pounce all over that fear. So yeah, this is a very, very interesting type of thing. Of course, many lawsuits come forward and whatever else. Normally they don't really, or at least companies don't announce it in this fashion. They just kind of include it as lawsuits under their upcoming earnings, but this one might be potentially serious. This is why the company is including and doing its own 8K because of it. And it's kind of interesting. I used to cover LQR way back in the day when that was truly the ticker, LQR, before they changed it to YHC. Still doesn't sound right to me, but nonetheless, I even did an interview with Sean himself. At the time, I asked him various questions. One thing that he did bring up, though, at the time of doing the interview, was that there was going to be no dilution. He did confirm that. And since then, they have issued quite a lot of new offerings, as you can kind of see based on all of this right here. So November 2023, October 2023, a lot of warrants. So this is as of January 2025. Yeah, there's a lot of dilution at the end of the day. So yeah, it's an interesting scenario. I think at the end of the day, for face value, this stock was trading at a deep discount because of the whole tariff kind of scenario, but Trump, it doesn't look like he is kind of easing off on Canada whatsoever. So I think in reality, this stock is going to get hit quite hard. And conveniently, I actually did post this on my Patreon. I kind of signaled the fact that this was running up, but I mentioned that essentially this is going to come crashing down. So I normally don't really promote shorting, but I think given the circumstances of how the stock has traded in the past, it's I think in reality it was kind of due for a peak. But perfect timing. This 8K did come out, so I think just in general, this is going to get hit quite hard. So during just the after hours, it went down to 914, and in my opinion, I could see easily a 25% red day. So pulling it back to, I'd say roughly around the 8 to maybe even high 7s in reality. So let me know your viewpoint on this stock. Have you been buying? Do you believe in it? Based on a lot of the recent news, they've always been very good at putting positive spins on everything, good at getting partnerships, and that is because of Sean's general history. So Sean is good at marketing. He's always been at that, and I think his team is very good at thinking outside the box, and I've always given them praise for that. Ever since the dividend did come out, for those of you that are familiar with that, they did a dividend way back when, and that was March 2024, and roughly around that time frame, that's when I kind of started to cover it. Some people did not agree. The fact that because of the terms of that whole dividend, you were going to lose about 50-60% of your equity just while holding for the ex-dividend date. Turns out I was 100% on point, and yeah, I think just generally speaking, everything's been very predictable with this stock, but nonetheless, I think that this stock is going to be one to kind of watch for, whether you're a day trader, swing trader, but generally speaking, I think this stock has its numbers or its days counted. It only has a 4.19 million market cap on a side note, so I think this might be a dead cat bounce, as what they typically like to say. Let me know your viewpoint. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you are looking for some solid buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.